Biometrics refers to physical and behavioral characteristics such as fingerprints, facial features, or the way we walk. Since biometric identifiers are unique and mostly unchangeable, they can be used to automate the identification of individuals. This technology is already used by security and counter-terrorism forces because it allows for easy recognition on a large scale. However, in the absence of effective regulation and accountability, governments have started abusing biometrics by tracking and surveilling protesters, activists, and political dissidents, especially in public spaces.
Biometric surveillance, as most technologies of control, signifies today the continuation, evolution, and technological materialization of continuing abuses perpetrated by states and private actors, mostly in the context of fragile democracies.
We need to know what technologies are being deployed. We need to understand which corporate partners are involved in their development, their use, and their transfer. We need to know who's being targeted by these technologies, and more than anything else, we need to know who has access to the data on the most intimate parts of our lives.
In democratic societies, the use of technology for security and counter-terrorism must be limited to strictly necessary, proportionate, and legitimate goals, making sure that people's rights and freedoms are safeguarded.
We need to ensure that it's not being used against protesters, human rights defenders, women's human rights advocates. And more than anything else, we need to include civil society. Civil society have to be at the heart of the policy making that produces these technologies, that applies them in situations of security and counterterrorism. And we have to make enormous efforts to include the communities who are most affected by misuse in the development, use, and transfer of these technologies.